The college football experience Pittsburgh Panthers season preview on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Colorado, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted parlays to live in-game odds on every major sport, WynnBET has what you need to win. So sign up today to receive a $500 risk-free sports bet. Download the WynnBET app now or visit wynnbet.com. That's WYNN bet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by PropSwap, America's #1 app to buy and sell sports bets. Use the promo code SGP on your first deposit to receive up to $500 in bonus cash. That's PropSwap.com, promo code SGP. We're also brought to you by Underdog. Make sure you head over to UnderdogFantasy.com and use the promo code SGPN for a free $25. Yes, you can use the free $25 to enter their Best Ball Mania 2. First place in Best Ball Mania 2 gets $1 million. That's right. Sign up now for a free shot at $1 million. Drafts are happening constantly, and it's not just NFL. They also have NBA, MLB, and more. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN for your chance to win $1 million. We're also brought to you by the SGPN app. Yes, of course. Don't forget to download the SGPN app in the App Store or Google Play Store today.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience Pitt Panthers season preview. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick. Woo! And I'm joined by my co-host, former JMU Duke defensive back. Give it up for the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi,
buddy. And you want to talk about a program? We're talking Pitt Panther football here. Give me the Dundee music, all right? Honestly, one of the richest programs when it comes to players in all of college football history. I would put you could do an all-time team. Dan Marino, Tony Dorsett, Curtis Martin.
Yeah.
LaShawn McCoy.
That's a stacked backfield right there.
Craig Ironhead Hayward.
Jeez.
Mike Ditka. Some of the best
Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald. Some of the best offensive linemen ever. When you talk about the likes of a Mark Stepnowski, Bill Fralick. You got just a slew of really good offensive linemen. Russ Grimm. I mean, defensive linemen, Tony Saragusa, Sean Gilbert, Aaron Donald. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Darrell Revis in the secondary, your linebackers, Hugh Green, one of the greatest defensive college football players ever, was a Pro Bowler with the Dolphins. Just a loaded team. I'm forgetting players.
You said Lou Holtz's buddy on Mark May.
Mark May. Yes, just a slew.
Yeah.
Of
I can't say Mark May without laughing at that Lou Holtz clip.
Yeah, and what he's referring to is the great Lou Holtz.
Well, I don't get break my head cold.
Watch
Should they
Mark
hire
May during
Skip
that
Holtz?
clip.
Yeah,
Just utter confusion.
Honestly, just go through the rabbit hole of Lou Holtz spitting on YouTube, and you'll thank me later. Where we are with Pitt, Patty C is a team that I just don't understand. Pat Narduzzi is the head coach. He's entering year 7?
Yep. Which, from what I understand, makes him the third longest tenured coach in Pittsburgh football in the last 50 years.
How are they look, I have nothing against Pat Narduzzi besides him kicking that field goal in the Penn State game.
Yeah.
I just don't. This is a program that they just had more players drafted than the Clemson Tigers. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah. They're solid. I mean, I'm looking at all-time rivalries right now against Penn State. They played 93 times. They're only trailing in that series by 5. That a team that's that close to Penn State historically in that rivalry should be better.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when do they just say, like, okay, 7-5 or 6-5 is not going to cut it.
11
Let's
straight
invest.
years. 11 straight years between 6 and 8 wins. God, when do
They're
you
the
get sick
same
of it?
team. It's like, and this is a team, by the way, if you had a large playoff, that I would argue all day. When you say, like, Kobe, you're being crazy. I know we had Mike Leach on saying he wants a 64 team playoff.
Yeah.
Or my 32. This is a team that actually could really do damage that no one would see.
Yeah.
When you give me that argument of, like, no way the 32nd team in the nation could go far in the playoffs. Yeah. Pitt would be that anomaly.
Well, defense is the culture, and cold weather if they get home games.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot that, I mean, look at the Steelers. Like, there's something about playing in that environment that helps you win.
They should have kept that stadium on campus, though. I don't like that Heinz Stadium. But still, even with that being said, I just think that this is a team that's just so strange.
I do think that hurts their recruiting, which I can dive into real quick, which is a massive disappointment considering that I want to say Pennsylvania is number 6 in terms of talent produced of all states, 6 or 7, somewhere in that range. Recruiting over the last 5 years, 37, so not bad. Then 48, 55, 45, 29. So a nice cycle last year, but currently sitting at, I don't have it pulled up for the last one, but either way,
they just have, they were just a mystery to me.
They should be in the top 30 at least every year recruiting.
Yeah. That once again, it's like that we talked about, go listen to our, State of College Football 2021 episode with all this change with Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC. We talk about how disappointing the ACC has been, Pat, and you made a note of it, saying Miami and Florida State and a little bit of Virginia Tech have been laying eggs, right?
Yeah, and
I think you got to throw Pitt in there too.
Yeah, I mean, when were they added? Like 2010, 11, 12, somewhere in there?
I think 11, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what the expectation for them was, but I think they were coming off an 11-1 season in the Big East. They had played Cincinnati and lost 45-44 in the championship. I think both teams were undefeated.
Well, just Pitt back to the 80s, and I mean, they're a much richer program than I think you're
maybe Pitt had one loss in that game, but yeah, they for Western Pennsylvania. Think about the quarterbacks that it's produced. Who do we say?
Namath,
Unitas.
Yeah, I mean Montana.
Yeah,
I mean Marino. Yeah, a ton. But those
are 4 of like the top 10 quarterbacks of all times coming from that fucking city. Ted Marchibroda, he's a great coach.
I mean everyone. I mean Marty Schottenheimer, I believe, from there.
Yeah, Bill Cowher.
It's a rich football history there. But Patty C. At what point I made this case on our show about a week or two ago. The ACC could have a sleeper coach get fired, and I think it's Pat Narduzzi. Yep. I think another 6-6 or 7-5 season. Why wouldn't they pull the plug? I understand they're winning, but damn it, don't you want more?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about the makeup of the Coastal. You have a few.
He's never got them higher than 22nd in the nation.
Yeah, that's bad. You have Virginia, which has potential, is kind of sleeping giant. North Carolina, you know, it's a state flagship. Mac Brown's getting that going. Tech's been a powerhouse, and so it's hard to get to the top of that division, which is like demonstrated by the constant carnage there. But Pitt should, from a potential standpoint, be towards the top.
Dude,
I guess you have Miami in there. I mean,
and you go back in history, like the 70s and 80s, they were doing really good. 90s, they kind of, somewhat had a shit decade. And then after that, they started winning, but they've only had one 10-win season in the past. What happened to this program? I mean, you go back 81, 11-1, 80, 11-1, 79, 11-1, 76, 12-0.
Were they playing in then?
9-1 and 63. You know, like this team.
They were an independent up until 1991, and they joined the Big East. So I don't know if it was scheduling. I think personally, like playing a really difficult schedule year in, year out, which I can't say the ACC qualifies as, but it's at least competitive versus if they were playing an easier schedule. That's a good way to lose momentum, and lose recruits because they were cranking out talent left and right, but they're clearly not doing that now.
Okay, look, Iowa State, I want Matt Campbell to stay at Iowa State.
Yeah.
But now with Iowa State's uncertainty, I thought he was going to stay at Iowa State.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope he still does. But
right.
The fact that they could be an independent or they could be in the Big 12
they
or the
could be a
Pac-12
complete
or or the Big Ten,
completely lost out there. Yeah.
or the AAC. They might find themselves in the AAC or Mountain West when it's all said and done.
Either way, there's enough uncertainty that even a guy as tied to the program as Matt Campbell.
Do you reach out?
I think you got to. An Ohio guy, Campbell.
What would you fire Narduzzi at though? 7-5.
6-6. I would have.
So you're
enough.
he's gonna go 7-5 though, at least.
I want to look at the schedule. We'll get to it in a second, but yeah. He's gone between 6 and 8 wins every single year he's been there.
Well,
so.
and you look back. I mean, he's bringing back a 6-year starting quarterback in Kenny Pickett, right?
Yeah.
You're bringing back 3 of 5 on the offensive line. That receiver, what is it? Jordan Addison. That guy was a beast as a freshman. Yes, you're breaking in a new tight end, Lucas Kroll, and 2 other wideouts. But Vincent Davis is back at running back. I like his game. You also have a big freshman in Israel Abikanda. I don't know how to fucking pronounce that guy's name. All right,
that was a total guess.
Abinakanda.
Close enough.
Abinikanda. All right. You figure that out. But him and Davis make a solid backfield. The receiving core, like I said, I think with Addison, you got Mack, a senior wideout. You got Jaquise Lewis, a junior wideout. I don't know. I mean, like, I think the offense actually might be better than it traditionally is under, I mean, this is another thing is this Mark Whipple year, basically it'll be year 3, 2.5, whatever you want to say. I think this offense, Pickett will be way more familiar with the offense now. Another thing is they are bringing in a left guard that transferred in from Maryland, started 17 games at Maryland, Marcus Minor. So really it's good, like having 4 offensive linemen back. I'm kind of bullish on their offense, man. And defensively, that's Narduzzi's forte, you know?
Yeah. Traditionally.
They're only bringing back 1 defensive lineman out of the returning 4 on the whole D line, but this is Pitt. What do? They just produce defensive linemen.
Yeah.
You saw it. They had a couple drafted this past draft.
Yeah, that's one thing that hasn't. I'm going to say they were ranked as last year the number 1 defensive line unit in the country.
Yeah.
Obviously didn't pan out completely, finishing 37th in scoring defense, but
They had 6 players drafted in the NFL this past offseason. 5 of them were on the defensive side of the ball. Narduzzi knows what he's doing on the defense. I'll give him that. All right.
Yeah.
He might not get in-game strategy going really well, but
that's the other thing that Colby's witnessed quite a bit. And
he's like Adazio, dude. He reminds me of Adazio.
Yeah.
It's like you'll have this one glaring weakness that you'll just see happen game after game.
Yeah, and the complete inability to fix it.
Like you look back at Pitt's season last year, they really should have beat NC State. NC State won 30-29, but they had no business winning that game. Then Boston College beats them on or I think Pitt misses an extra point.
Yeah, back-to-back 1-point losses. That's tough.
But even BC, I think, had to hit a 57-yard field goal to actually go to overtime. I thought it was a bad job of clock management in that game. A 12-point loss to Miami, but remember, Kenny Pickett couldn't play that game, so they had to go with the backup.
And that game was close into the fourth quarter, and Miami pulled away.
You got your ass whooped at Clemson, but who doesn't? They could have easily been 11-1 or whatever the fuck this is, 9-1 or
throttled Virginia Tech and Florida State back-to-back weeks. They're up and down. I mean, they have a 42-point loss followed by a 24-point win, followed by a 23-point win or a 33-point win, and then a 35-point loss. Like you don't know what you're getting.
That's my point though. It's like why wouldn't you want to get someone in there that this is a talented team? I don't care what you say. 58th scoring offense a season ago, 111th running the ball. What at Pitt?
That's
how many great running backs? James Conner, Dion Lewis.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Barlow back in the day. 39th passing attack, 79th overall offensively.
Well, with Kenny Pickett, you would expect that.
Well, he got injured last year too.
Yeah. Didn't have a great season statistically either. 13 touchdowns, 9 picks. Not amazing. 61% completion percentage, respectable, but not great.
Now defensively, they're 37th best scoring offense in the nation, 3rd best run defense in the nation. Petty C.
Yeah. That's what you expect.
85th passing, 20th overall.
Colby and I had a little conversation pre-podcast about who could possibly generate buzz and actually do something with Pittsburgh. The names that popped up. I mean, the guys they've had between Dave Wannstedt, Paul Chryst, who also were like 7-win coaches.
All the same.
Yeah.
Paul Chryst and Pat Narduzzi are the same coach.
That's right. Well, Paul Chryst is run the ball coach.
I understand, but I'm just saying like their MO is like the same. I get it. One's on different sides of the ball.
Right.
But I'm just saying.
They're the same guy on different sides of the ball.
Yes.
I agree. That said, the name that I was thinking, and Colby thought, hey, maybe there's something to it, is more of the same. In fact, he's got a similar look to Dave Wannstedt with that beautiful mustache. Bud Foster. Come on. I mean, Pittsburgh and Virginia Tech are blue collar towns.
You know, Bud's a friend of the program, been on the show, but at 61, this is a guy I follow his page. He's having margaritas sitting on a lake. You know, maybe he wants to. Maybe
I think he was doing that before the games at Tech, and they were doing quite fine.
Yeah. I mean, at what point do you try to go like completely out of the like? I was thinking Matt Campbell if Iowa State's falling apart, but is that enough to lure him? Can Pitt make that offer? Maybe.
If the ACC is a much more attractive thing, and you never know what the landscape.
Tom Herman, you don't think they look at Tom Herman?
Tom Herman has enough. I mean, like you said, he almost went undefeated at Texas last year. Kind of got a bad deal handed to him.
What about Fickle? Would Fickle jump?
I don't think Fickle jumps. I think he's a Cincinnati guy at this point. I don't know. I said Bill Cowher. He's 64 years old. It's really not that old.
Look, you get to that stage.
He's been retired for 20 almost years. You know, who came back though? Herm Edwards came in there. You had to pull a couple strings.
Bill Cowher came to the Pitt Panthers. I would be all on board.
Dynamite.
I would be all on board. But who else could they get outside of that? You know they're going to look at some of the hotter names. They're going to say Jeff Lebby or something.
Yeah, I mentioned Rich Rodriguez, but Colby pointed out he's a WVU guy, so that's probably off the table.
Him. Yeah. I guarantee you that. I don't know that they'll take a recycle. They might go Jeff Lebby or the likes of a hot shot DC out there.
They got to have someone with a name.
Marcus Freeman.
If they could, that could happen. That actually could happen. I think he's probably going to hold out for a big ass job, but if he wants to get going right away, that would be a steal and a half.
What about Elko?
Yeah. Elko is perfect.
Isn't Elko from the Northeast too?
Elko deserves a head coaching job at some point. That's actually a great pull. If A&M has an amazing year this year,
he's from New Jersey. This makes perfect sense.
There it is.
He went to Penn.
Oh, bring in Mikey E.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's get to this team because we're still breaking down. I like the offense, the defense, breaking in a new secondary. But once again, I just don't fear this. They have their whole entire linebacking core back, Patty C, and they're all seniors. I'm not worried about the defensive side of the ball. I really am. Like, I never feel like they're a horrible defense.
Yeah.
I'm more so worried, like, will this offense pick up the pace?
Well, you're a Whipple supporter, aren't you?
I thought he should still be. I think he still should be the head coach of UMass.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, when he was at UMass, they actually were good at ATS.
Yeah.
They actually put a scare in like Tennessee and Florida and Mississippi State.
I mean, he came. He was.
I love how that's all SEC. The whole SEC plays UMass, right? Just put them in the SEC.
He was slowly improving once they got into the FBS level. I mean, and he was very good at the FCS level. So give the guy a chance. But yeah, I think with he and Pickett in there, the offense could go.
Dude, I mean, if you look back at some of those UMass seasons, I know 4-8. You think, oh, that's horrible. Not really when you look at like the actual performance on the field. Like, they played in some games, man. They almost beat some teams. Like, now they're getting destroyed. All right, they're getting absolutely destroyed. They beat Liberty last time. Look, they lost to. No, they did get smacked by Georgia. Maybe it was the year before.
I'm looking at his last year. Yeah. There are a lot of. They didn't play a lot of defense under him. He's best probably as an offensive coordinator.
Look, you go back. They lost by 3 to Colorado. In the second to last year, 3 to Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt. Right, they lost by.
At UMass, that's pretty impressive.
That is impressive, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, people giving him a bad rap. This guy, he's been doing it, man. He's been doing it. Look, at Florida, 24-7. 24-7 at Florida. That was a closer game.
That's not bad.
That's what I'm saying, man. They're not that they should have they lost by 6 at South Carolina.
Mean, he had a pretty sparkling reputation, like prior to taking that game, even with that during that time.
Lost by 6 at South Carolina. This guy he should still be their head coach. What are they expecting? Anyway, let's get to this thing. The win total is at 7.5, which has actually gone up. I believe it was at 7 earlier in the offseason.
It's exactly where you would expect it to be. Well, 7 is where it should be because they're always hovering between 6 and 8. But with a 25th year quarterback, maybe they get to 7.5. Maybe they get to 8 this year.
Well, Mark Whipple gets revenge week 1. I think this is one of the ones I will take the favorite. UMass comes down to Pitt, Patty C.
Big revenge spot here for Whipple.
They fired him. Come on. He's got this one circled. All right. That's 1-0. I'm curious what do you think about week 2's matchup at Tennessee?
Oh, this is quite the question here because let me see what Tennessee did last year. They were not that good, if I recall. But they were respectable. 3-7 last year. Got throttled in most of their. Look, I'm taking Pitt.
I'm taking Pitt
on
too.
Rocky
Me
Top.
too. Then they're home to Western Michigan. That's a win, but Western Michigan's got some offense.
Yeah, that's the kind of game that could be close.
Then they're home to New Hampshire.
That could also be close.
Is Pitt winning the national championship this year? Then they're at New Hampshire, not a bad FCS, but at Georgia Tech.
They should go down and win that.
I think they'll win that.
Yeah.
Knowing Pitt, this is the one they would lose.
Right.
Right, but we got them 5-0 out the gate.
Yeah.
Then they get a bye week for Virginia Tech,
who is coming off Notre Dame.
Yes, I like Pitt to upset Virginia Tech there.
You got them 6-0. I think they lose at Virginia Tech.
Don't you have Virginia Tech beating Notre Dame in Blacksburg?
I don't know.
So you got them winning all every game. Then they're home to Clemson.
I just don't think Pitt's capable of going 6-0.
Okay, I do agree with that. They probably lose to Georgia Tech. Clemson in Pitt. Talk about the tall grass neutralizes the speed. It's hard to kick field goals in that stadium.
Oh yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh is definitely one of those Hornets. I mean, it's not even like a hornet's nest in terms of the crowd. It's just like treacherous. So there's of any game on Clemson's schedule that's upset city. That's it. Still, you got to take Clemson here.
Okay, I'll see. I agree. I agree there. Then they're home to Miami. They're gonna beat Miami.
They could upset Miami.
They're gonna beat Miami.
They're gonna get one. But so what? We have them at I have them at 3 losses. You have them at 2 here.
I have them at 5-0, 6-0, 6-1. I have them beating Miami. They're better than Miami.
7-1.
They're probably going to lose to Georgia Tech in Atlanta.
I can't see them being 7-1. I got them losing 3 at this point. I got them at 5-3.
There's no way Miami's going up to Pitt and winning.
It is possible that could happen.
What Miami do you watch?
Let me look at some of.
They won by 12 last year without Kenny Pickett. I know that was 12, but that was a misleading score.
That's true, but it was still a win. The last time it was in Heinz Field, Miami went up there and won 16-12.
Okay.
2 years ago. I mean, Kenny Pickett was, in year 25 or 23 then.
Yeah,
so.
that was Whipple's first year as the OC.
I think that it's very possible. That
they're losing that game.
They could. I'll give it to Pitt there.
See what I did there? I swung them at Duke. This is the one they lose. Look at their record against Duke, dude. Look at Pitt's history with Duke.
Let me pull up the old head-to-heads here. Oh,
these games are wild. Remember, blew it was this game. I'm telling you, these games are wild.
Pitt is winners of 5 straight
but look at
10
the scores.
Of the last 11.
Look at the scores.
Yeah, the last 3 games, 3, 9, 7. They did get a 42-point win in there, but 3, 2.
Wait, you're not looking at last year, are you?
Oh no, they don't have 2020s in there.
My point is still that this, for some reason, Duke gives them fits. I mean, it was an overtime.
Well, this almost makes sense. Pitt is a team that allows teams to plays down and allows teams, just like the Steelers in the NFL, allows teams to hang around that shouldn't. And Duke is the kind of team that creeps up on teams that it shouldn't. So.
I feel like they go to overtime often, dude. How do they go to overtime against Duke every year? That's the one. That's the one they're going to trip with, right?
It's very possible.
Then they're home to North Carolina on a Thursday night.
I'll say this: between Miami and Duke, they're losing one.
But between Miami and Duke, or between Miami and North Carolina?
Miami and Duke. But then at against North Carolina, that should be an L
for Pitt.
For Pitt,
I'm taking Pitt.
It is at home
on November 11th
on a Thursday night. Maybe you're right. Gosh. Okay. I'll give them the dub.
Home to Virginia. How did they play against Virginia? They lost in 1930-14 last year. Did they play last year? They did not.
I'm having a hard time predicting Pitt here.
That's
their
every
MO.
year. Every year, it's like at Syracuse. I'll give that to Pitt, but watch them lose that.
Look, 7.5. I'm taking the under. They're getting 7.
All right, hold on. UMass, Tennessee, Western Michigan, New Hampshire, Georgia Tech. That should be 5. Can I find 3 more there? Yeah, I'm on the over. They're going 8-4.
Duke, who you got? You got them beating.
I got them beating Virginia
Miami.
Tech too. I don't know how. Look, they fucked up Virginia Tech last year.
Yeah, well, that would be 6, and then you'd only have needing 2 more.
Yeah, and Duke and Syracuse could be those.
Yeah, both on the road.
They're winning 8 games, dude. They're gonna beat one of those. This is a guarantee. You want a Dundee guarantee?
You think they're gonna
between Clemson, Miami, and North Carolina? I think they're gonna go 2-1.
Buddy, you got them in the first half of the season at Tennessee, at Georgia Tech, and at Virginia Tech, winning them all. This is Pitt. This is Pitt we're talking about.
Okay, but look, they'll probably lose to Georgia Tech, but they'll beat like Clemson.
They might. Look. The fact that if it was 8.5, I think we would know 100% that Pitt isn't capable of doing that. Yeah. 7.5, maybe this is one of the years they get to 8 wins.
They've had some 8-win seasons before.
Yeah, you might be right. Look, I'm not a hard under here, but if I had to choose one, I think they might lose. But
here's my logic. I think the offense is going to be the best it's been in the Narduzzi era.
You might be right.
Right, and I know I don't care if they've lost starters on defense. The defense will be fine.
Yeah.
So my logic is this offense will be a lot better than we traditionally see Pitt. So, and that schedule is pretty fucking easy, dude. The first half is really easy.
It is kind of manageable, but again, for a team that the talent level we mentioned isn't there, if we do expect Carolina they have some nice home games, getting Miami, North Carolina, and Virginia, like some of the teams they're more evenly matched with in the division, all at home is helpful. So if everything breaks their way, they're going to hit the over. But I think they're on the under.
With Pitt and Virginia Tech, Pitt is 12-3 ATS when they're the dog in this series. So I expect Virginia Tech to be the favorite in Blacksburg. Give me that to be 13-3.
With the money line play there.
All right, folks, if you're a first time listener to the College Football Experience, make sure you subscribe. We're breaking down all 130 college football teams. We will have you covered for even some FCS, some 2.0 editions of the FBS. I know we already have that with Boise State and Liberty out there. Go check those out. And obviously college basketball wise, Jeff Capel, big year at Pitt. We got you covered on the College Basketball Experience feed. Subscribe to that over there. We talk college basketball year round over there. We talk college football year round over here. Subscribe to both of those. And me, Patty C, and NC Nick, we've been handicapping every single Division I college football game for the past 4 years. Never had a losing season. Also, way over 500 on our locks. Give you all of that for free on the SGPN app. Download that app in the App Store or Google Play Store right now. And when you get that, you also will have. First off, it's free. It's a free app. But you'll get all of our podcasts, all of our picks, all of our articles, all of our just everything. We just had Phil Steele on the show, Mike Leach on the show. You'll get all of that content right there. But do me a favor, when you download that app, give us a 5-star review, say some nice things about us, and if you do that, take a screenshot. Find me on Twitter at @DColbyD. Show me that screenshot, and I'll send you a College Football Experience T-shirt. It's a great look, kindness for kindness, guys. All right.
It's the hottest gear.
It is the hottest gear.
You know what we should do?
What's that?
We should swag out and get it like a leather jacket, like a Karate Kid, but instead of like the snake on it, the cobra, we get the fucking College Experience on it.
Or we do condoms.
We need a mascot. College Experience needs a fucking.
What about
mascot.
TCE condoms?
TCE condoms. They are. Do they work? No, they break on purpose, baby. They're like perforated condoms.
Do they work? All right, subscribe to no, seriously, at the Colby D. Send me that photo, and I'll send you a college experience T-shirt. Patty C's on Twitter at PattyC831. Tell him what you think of his condom and leather jacket idea. And NC Nick's on Twitter at NC_NICK. Give us all a follow. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN, and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network's on Twitter at DSGP Network. Give all of them a follow and check out the Slack channel Sports Gambling Podcast as well. All right, folks, I'm on the over. Patty C's on the under. This is the College Football Experience, Pitt Panther style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out.